Let's look at one more inequality problem. This one is a system of linear inequalities, which means we'll have two inequalities. And then to solve those, we're going to graph the solution. So the problem says you can work a total of no more than 10 hours each week at your two jobs. House cleaning pays $5 an hour, and your sales job pays $8 an hour. So I'm going to go ahead and write that down since it seems like we're getting a lot of information here. So house cleaning is $5. Sales is $8. You need to earn at least $56 each week to pay your bills. Let X be the number of hours worked at house cleaning, and let Y represent the number of hours worked at your sales job. Write a system of linear inequalities that shows the various numbers of hours you can work at each job. Draw a graph and shade it in the region that fulfills those inequalities. All right, so we know that house cleaning pays $5 an hour, and we'll do that for X hours. And sales pays $8 an hour, and we'll do that for Y hours. So now let's go back and find these inequalities in here. So it says you can work a total of no more than 10 hours each week. So the number of hours that are worked is X plus Y. So we know that X plus Y needs to be less than or equal to 10, since it says you can't work more than 10 hours, but you could work exactly 10. And then there's another one in here. It says you need to earn at least $56 each week to pay your bills. So the amount of money that you're going to make is the number of hours times the pay for each job. So we would have 5X plus 8Y, and we need at least $56. So we need $56 or more. So we'll use that greater than or equal to that 56. So now we have two inequalities. So that gives us a system of inequalities, which is that first part of the directions. And then we're going to need to graph these and shade in the regions that make these true. So in order to graph these, we really need these to be in a form of y equals mx plus b. That's kind of the easiest way to graph. So if I take this x plus y is less than or equal to 10, and I just turn it into a linear function by replacing that with an equal sign, what I get is that y is equal to negative x plus 10. So I know that this has a y-intercept of 10. And I know that the slope is -1. So down 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Okay, so I have a couple of points. That should be enough for me to draw this line. Okay, so there is our line that we're working off of. Y is negative x plus 10. And then we need to figure out, now that we have the line, where it's true that x plus y is less than 10. So the easiest way to do that is to just pick a point on one side of the line or the other. And you're going to plug in that x and y value and see if it holds true in the inequality. If it does, then we're going to shade that side. If it doesn't, we'll shade the other side. So I usually try to pick the easiest point possible to plug in. But in this case, I would say 0, 0 looks like a pretty easy point to plug in, and it's clearly on this side of the line. So if we plug this in and this is true, we'll shade this side. If we plug this point in and this doesn't hold true, then we'll shade the other side. So 0, 0. I plug that in, I get 0 plus 0. And is that in fact less than 10? And it is. So we know that this side, any point that we plug in on this side, if I plugged in 1, 1, if I plugged in 4, 2, any of those points I plug in are going to keep this true. So we're going to shade this side here. Okay, so these are all the values that make this statement true. And then we need to look for the values that make this one true. So we're going to put this one into slope-intercept form also. So I'm looking at 8y is equal to negative 5x plus 56. So y is equal to negative 5/8 x plus 56 over 8. And 56 over 8 should be 7. So I get negative 5/8 x plus 7. All right, so now that we have the equation of this line in a form we can graph, let's go ahead and plot that. So my intercept is 7, which is right here, and my slope is negative 5/8. So I'll go down 5 and over 8, which is right here. So that gives me 2 points, and I can draw a line through those. And then what I need to figure out is, am I shading this side of the red line or am I shading this side of the red line? All right, so let's use that 0, 0 point again. It's kind of a really nice one to plug in. So if I go with 0, 0, 5 times 0 plus 8 times 0, is that greater than or equal to 56? So in other words, is 0 bigger than 56? And that is definitely not true, which means the side of the line where 0, 0 is false. So this side is false here. So anything under this line is false. So we want to shade the stuff above the red line. Okay. And then what we're looking for as a solution is where these two shaded areas overlap. And so where they overlap is this slice right in here. So any of the points in this section here are going to hold true for these inequalities. So for example, if I work 2 hours at house cleaning and I work 7 hours at sales, I will still stay under the 10, but I'll make more than that $56. Okay. So the solution to an inequality is a whole series of points. And so in this case, it's any of these points that are in that shaded region. If you'd like more practice with how to shade these graphs with inequalities, there's an optional video that goes on the next page that'll walk you through more of that practice.